Hello everyone, it's Naoki here. Today, I want to show you how to start using Adobe Illustrator for a very first time. Let's get started. Okay, first, let me explain the significant feature of the Adobe Illustrator. The software creates a vector file, such as the graphics never lose the quality. It is good for logo design, icon graphics, document design, vector illustrations, and so on. This video will focus on next 7 topics. 1. How to open the specific document size. 2. Bleed setting. 3. Shape tool. 4. Move tool. 5. Layer. 6. Zoom tool. And 7. Color swatches. So first, let's open Illustrator. So when you open Illustrator, you can see the file you've opened last time. But if you open the Illustrator very first time, this area is supposed to be empty. So let's visit that new file. Okay, so as soon as you clicked new file, you can see the dialog box like this. Then if you visit on the top area, you can see the lots of options here. Mobile, web, print, film, video, and art and illustration. If you see the mobile, you can see the lots of template size for the mobile, like iPhones or the iPad or Samsungs and the Surface stuff. So if you want to make some mobile app interface, you can visit here. Okay, and next one is a web, which is the lots of that desktop size over here, MacBook Pros and any others. So if you just want to make something that cover page of the desktop or so on, you can visit this place. Okay, and next one is a print. You can see the all paper print standard size over here. And film and video. If you visit art and illustration, you can see the lots of suggested size of the posters and anything letter size and so on. But this time I visit print, which is I usually go. And as I said, you can see the lots of standard paper size over here. And if I want to select this A4, you can click A4. Okay, and next, if you select the unspecific size you want to go, you can visit the right hand side before you click create. Okay, and you can change the unit of your the paper size, and the default is a point. But if you click that drop down menu, and you can see pixel, points, picas, inches, feet, and so on. So I'll visit millimeters this time. Then you can see the A4 size here, 210 by 297. Then if you visit over here orientation section, you can choose portrait or landscape. And also you can choose number of the artboard, which is number of pages. If you haven't decided how many pages do you need, don't worry, you can change it later. So let's stick with 1. Next thing is a bleed. Bleed is an extra outside of area when you send your file to the printer. Let's set this time is a 2 millimeters. Then you can see 2 millimeter bleed all around. But if you want to change the value of the bleed on each section, you can do it. First thing, you need to press here the cut to chain. Okay, then you can change specifically on each area if you want to. But this time, let's stick with a 2 millimeter bleed all around. Here we go. Okay, so the next area you need to visit is a color mode. So when you get a job, you have to confirm if this is a print or web. If it's a print, the color mode must be CMYK color. And at this section, if you want to go to the RGB color, you can do it with click the drop down menu and you can choose RGB. But this time, let's stick with CMYK. Okay, and the next thing you need to confirm is a resolution. If it's a print, supposed to be 300 ppi. But if you want to go web, okay, screen 72. Okay, just please make sure that number depends on if the job is print or web. Okay, so again, this time stick with this 300. Okay, so looks like everything is set. Then finally, I can click create. Okay, so I have A4 size and 2mm bleed all over it. Okay, alright, so first thing I want to introduce is a shape tool. Okay, so shape tool is on the sidebar here. Okay, and if you click and hold it, you can see the lots of options inside. Rectangle tool, round rectangle tool, and ellipse tool, polygon tool, star tool. Okay, so let me introduce those tools one by one. Okay, so first rectangle tool. So if you select that rectangle tool and come over here and drag over it, then you have rectangle. Okay, and if you want to change the color of the rectangle, first you have to select that rectangle and go on the top here. Okay, then first if you want to change the stroke, go click here, drop down menu, and you can change the color of the stroke here. Okay, and if you want to change the thickness of this stroke, and first you have to select the object, then here on the top, see the stroke section, you can increase the value and you can change the thickness. If you don't need a stroke and only you need is filling the color inside, you can do it. So first you need to fill in the color. At the moment, actually it's filling in the white, but you can see it, so I want to put something obvious color, pink. Right, and next is get rid of this outside the stroke, is go visit the stroke area, and this time no color, no white, so this one, click none, then boom, it's all strokes gone. Okay, and let's get back to 100%. And if you want to make something perfect square, this time hold shift and drag over. In this case, you can make the perfect square. Let's get back to the shape tool and see another option. Okay, rounded rectangle tool. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, so this one seems the square but have some round corner over here. Okay, so if you just come closer look. Okay, so that round corner is different. If you want to increase the roundness of the shape, you can do it. So how you do it is select the shape and see that small dot at the corner, and you grab that corner and drag into the inside. Then you can increase the roundness of the shape. You can do the same thing on the rectangle tool. So if you select the shape and you can see the same white dot at the corner, and if you grab it and drag to the inside, you can do the same thing. Okay, and if you go back to the shape tool again and see another option, ellipse tool, okay, which is making the ellipse shape. And if you want to make a perfect circle, hold shift and drag over and you can make the perfect circle. Whoop. Yeah. Okay, and the next one is a polygon tool. Okay, that. And next one is a star tool. Okay, hold shift and drag over and you can make the perfect star. Okay, so that is a shape tool. Okay, next thing I want to show you is a move tool, which is I've been using it all the time, which is this one. Okay, so if you go to the sidebar and the top tool is called the move tool or selection tool. Okay, and shortcut is a V. The purpose of the selection tool or move tool is this. Okay, first select the object. Okay, next move the object. Okay, next is a resize the object. Okay, when you resize the object, don't forget to hold shift to resize it. Okay, if you forgot to hold shift, if you forgot to hold shift and try to resize it, that shape will be distorted. Okay, and if it's not what you're looking for, don't forget hold shift and resize. Okay, so this is a move tool. Next thing I want to introduce is a layer. Okay, so if you don't see the layer window in your workplace, no panic, go visit on the top window and layers. Okay, so I'll show you how it works. So next thing I want to introduce is a layer. Okay, so if you don't see the layer window in your workplace, no panic, go visit on the top and window and layers. Okay, so once you have a layer, let me just delete everything. And let's just make one rectangle over here with a pink. Okay, so I have one pink rectangle in layer 1. Okay, then if I create another layer, how I create another layer is visit layer window and go to the bottom and see the create new layer, that plus icon. Click that and you can see another layer on the top. But you don't see anything different because that top layer has nothing in there. Okay, so inside of that top layer, layer 2, if I create something, okay, star, hold shift and making the perfect star, and that selection tool, move tool, and just move around. Then if I just change the color to blue. Okay, here's the thing. I have star shape on the layer 2 and I have the square shape in layer 1. Layer 2 is on the top of the layer 1. That's why I can see that star tool, star shape on the top of the square. But if you want to go other way around, simple. Just grab that layer 1 and bring it on the top. So that layer is you can play around order of each object. Okay, so let's get back to what it was. Then inside of the layer 2, if I have another object inside of the layer 2, for example, if I have a circle and a different color, green this time. Okay, but this time is the situation is a bit different from the last time because instead of that different layer, I have two objects inside of the same layer. In this case, I can change the order. Yes, you can. Okay, in this case, go to the layer 2 and click that drop menu. Then you can see the all object inside of the layer 2. Then you can grab that ellipse tool and bring on the bottom. Then you can change the order. Okay, I can show you obvious. That is maybe I can change the color to, I don't know, this time yellow. Okay, that's better. Okay, so if I want to, okay, so let's hide the layer 1. Okay, so this is all happening inside of layer 2, right? Okay, then if I want to put this circle on the top of that star shape, How can I do it? Is go visit the layer 2 inside, make sure you click that drop down menu and see the all objects inside of the layer, and grab that ellipse tool and bring on the top. Then you can change the order of the object. That is the layer. Okay, so next thing I want to introduce is a zoom tool, which is I've been using all the time. Okay, so if you want to zoom in, if you need to something closer look, go on the sidebar and the bottom section, you can see the magnifying glass icon. This is a zoom tool. Okay, so the shortcut is Z. Okay, so if you click that, and if you want to see this section closer look, is yeah. Okay, or just keep clicking. Okay. And if you want to just go back, if you want to just zoom out, is from bottom to top. And if you want to zoom in, top to bottom. Okay, you can play around and you can find out. Alright, so if you want to get back to 100% view, like before, Command 0, then you can go back to 100% view. Okay, Command 0, and if you are a Windows user, Control 0. Okay, so that is the zoom tool. And the last thing I want to show you is the color swatches, which is also I've been using all the time. Okay, so if we want to change the color of the object, for example this one, okay, so let's make it clear. This delete this star shape, and okay, so if I want to change the color of this circle, 3 ways to do it. Okay, first thing, you need to select the object with the selection tool, and the first way is go visit the sidebar, okay, and grab this color and double click it, okay, so double click it, and you can choose the color wherever you want, and you can also change the color tone over here, and then you can see the preview of the color at the moment. Then if once you're happy, hit OK and change the color. Okay, second way, keep selecting the object and go visit on the top. Then you can grab the swatch over here and you can choose any color you want. Okay, third way is you get swatch window over here. This is exactly same as here, this one. Then if you don't see the swatch window, go window on the top and swatches. Okay, then keep selecting the object and you can change the color. Okay, so that is the color swatches, and I want to show you one more thing before I go, is bleed. Okay, so I set the bleed 2 millimeters all around, but what if you need to change the bleed setting at the middle of your working? Can I do it? Yes, you can. Okay, so first thing you need to do is go File and Document Setup. Once you click the Document Setup, the pop-up window is came up. Okay, one more thing I want to show you before I go is a bleed. Okay, so I set the bleed 2 millimeters all around. But what if I need to change the bleed setting at the middle of my project? How can I do it? Is a document setup. So once you click the document setup, you can see the pop-up window, and inside of the pop-up window you can change the bleed over here. Let's change to 5. Then make sure everything is 5. Then hit OK. Then boom, just change everything into the 5 millimeter bleed. Okay, if you want to have the object go all over the edge, make sure that object go until the end of that bleed line. Okay, so this is how to start using Adobe Illustrator for a very first time. I hope it helps. See you next time.